burn
I
or
didn't
give
burn,
money
right,
away.
never that.
But that's what
I
people
kept
were doing.
mine, and 4 years later when he came back, and ironically was still 23, that bitch fit like it never was gone.
All right. Well,
You want to spend your hand, or you want to just pick up like this?
No.
Bring it in.
Man.
all right. 5.
No, this one like wait till for the fucking protective lenses, and this one is just scratch.
Let's go. All right. Welcome to this edition of the Smartalecs. You know who I am. I'm John, the host of the Smartalecs, the smartest of all the Smartalecs. I'm here with a distinguished panel of gentlemen, if you will. I'm going to introduce them now. On my left side, I got the young professor. How you doing, young professor?
You know, living life.
He's in the line. He's like to go. Just not like that. Just trying to like to go. It might be different. But trying to find it. And on my right side, I got my man, Double A. How you feel, man?
I'm all good.
All right. All right. You good? You ready? I think this topic is going to be good for you. I want to see good for me because I want to see that. I ain't good, nigga.
I'm the angel.
Cause what they doing. So we're gonna talk about the outrage that some people have that Colin Kaepernick has become the face of the Nike Just Do It 30th anniversary campaign. People have taken to the streets, cutting the swooshes off their own shirts, burning shoes on their feet,
Swooshes are, I see they
fucking
cut the shoes,
off
swoosh
the
off the
socks,
shirts, yeah.
cutting it off their shirts, shoes, everything. How do you feel about this travesty they doing to Air Monarchs? All the dad shoes getting fucked up.
The air skippy bobos. That's what
I hope they fucking realize that, you know, that does absolutely nothing to the company. Not one, people listen to me, okay? If you have burned your shit, you cut it up. You burned and cut up your shit. Like, unless you're going to the Nike outlet and cutting their shit up, you're gonna go to jail if you do that. But
That's somebody
You know,
Nike
it's-
outlet. You don't have to go to the factory and
whatever.
with that.
If you, it's not, it means nothing. Like,
Yeah, that's weird.
what the fuck?
It's weird.
I don't understand why people are upset. Shit, Colin Kaepernick hasn't gotten a check for 2 years.
Not from the NFL, but he's
From the NFL for 2 years.
But
For nothing. He did nothing wrong. If anyone has actually dug deeper into the whole Colin Kaepernick situation, it's well documented. The reason he took a knee, he originally was sitting. He talked to a Navy, I mean, it was either a Navy veteran or an Air Force veteran, one of the two. He was a military man. And he pulled him aside and he was like, look man, you're sitting at the flag during the national anthem. That is disrespectful. Why are you sitting? He told him why. He said, you know what? When we lose a brother, when we feel in the military, when we have feelings like that, we take a knee. That's how we salute our fallen brothers, is by taking a knee. So it is, military men will understand you taking a knee rather than sitting. That's why he kneels. So to say that he's disrespecting the flag and people burn their shit and they want to protest Nike, protest the
I
NFL,
think that's
it's ridiculous.
You know, there's a lawsuit. Colin Kaepernick has sued the NFL.
Yes.
Going to trial for
Yeah.
collusion to keep him out of the
Yeah.
NFL.
And I think he should win.
Well, they got fucking documents already stating that they were colluding to keep him out of the NFL. Like, they got shit saying.
Well,
Like,
it all backfired
we're
because all these
colluding.
other players are also protesting by taking the knee
They
for
thought it was just
social
gonna be
injustice.
one
They
thing.
thought it was going to be one guy, and if they get him out of the league, easier said than done. It's out of sight, out of mind. We don't have to deal with it. And other players are like, no, 90% of us are black, and 90% of us feel the same way. You're going to kick us all out.
I like
They do the one doing the
if Donald Trump
I'm getting
Yeah,
NFL.
say Nike.
CFL.
say Nike have what if Nike had made Donald Trump the face of the 30th anniversary campaign? Just do it. Right. We do it just better than
Just
anybody.
do it better.
Right.
And why could you say that?
I would never. Would you have cut your shit up?
No.
I wouldn't cut my shit up
Would
for
you have
anybody.
set your shoes on fire on your feet?
No, I didn't see that.
I swear to God, he did it. He was like, "This is what I think of you, Nike." And he set his feet on fire. Then he was in the hospital with 33 birds on his feet. That's why I'm telling him, like, I don't. like you said, I don't understand. Like, how is this protesting anything?
I just don't understand. Like, what do people expect Nike to be like? Oh, they're cutting up our shit. They're burning it. You know what? Let's scrap this Colin Kaepernick idea. No, we're
I
not.
looked at these stock prices like, everything's okay, Bill.
Stock prices are down.
They are down, man.
How much?
I mean, I don't know.
I know good, but it's time for niggas to be buying it if they want something. It's down to like $70 a month.
Is that low?
Next level trading. I think the market's like
It's like it's 70. That's not check. It's like maybe like $74 and some change.
Is it really? I thought it was higher than that.
last time I checked when I was
Shit's-
trading
I thought it
stocks.
was
It's
like
not
$700.
expensive. Really, stocks aren't that expensive.
No,
You gotta have
have a lot of money.
money
buy
to
the
buy
shit.
enough stock
Yeah,
to
you
make
can buy
a difference.
one stock. Yeah, nigga, I'll buy a stock, $35, but what the fuck? When it go up to $110, right, or something like that.
92, you can only get $4 or $5.
Right, like what the fuck
Right,
am I gonna
so
do with that?
And you gotta pull it out at the right time. So
Right, so you gotta watch
But
it.
you already know it's gonna
But,
always
like,
be the right
it's
time
not
for
gonna-
Nike.
This is not going to affect Nike one bit, because guess what? Nike has contracts with about, 100 fucking college teams, most of the sports teams,
Athletes.
fucking athletes, come on.
all of the NBA.
Doesn't LeBron
sponsored
James,
by Nike.
isn't LeBron James shoes made by Nike?
Aren't Jordans made by Nike?
Aren't KD's made by Nike?
Come on, these balls.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. And Melos.
Yeah. And then don't they got those retro shoes like the Deion Sanders, Bo Jacksons,
Aren't those Nike?
yeah,
Look, they just
Ken
reached,
Griffey's.
they just reached 43 million in earned media off Kaepernick campaign. So they've already reached 43 million just off the campaign. So
Because people was like,
I think it's
I'm gonna stand with Kaepernick and buy Nike products.
I personally think it's a good move for Nike. I think
hell yeah, it's a move.
it's letting you know,
It's a long-term move, first and foremost.
and it's also letting African Americans understand that not all of these companies are ignoring us, and they understand. I personally,
Well, you
I
see the
feel
NFL?
Nike understands what's
NFL
going on.
released something too.
What
The
they
NFL
say?
released some shit too. Yeah, they talking basically like, yo, we about what the basically saying that we agree with the players now. Like we're about what the players about and how whatever we have to do to make sure that the players
It's
get
about
what they
fucking
want
time.
and this, that, and this. But then it took Nike, nigga.
You know why?
Yeah.
Nike,
Yeah.
Nike.
I know.
When you get backed by bread like that, and then
When that's
Nike
one of the
is-
approved
you
shoes and apparel that can be worn in the NFL, yes,
like
absolutely.
Donald Trump was bullying the NFL.
As I said, Donald
But
Trump
it's-
can only bully you so
it
long.
can't, it can't bully Nike
No.
and the NFL.
No,
It's too much.
absolutely not.
You know what I'm saying?
He could call for a protest and shit. The people who would listen to that protest aren't buying Nike shit anyways.
Right, that's
Bottom
what I was
line
gonna say.
is, honestly, is the fact of the matter is, and then Nike knows this. Just a lot of other people know this. Even though a lot of the Caucasians don't want to realize it, but slowly but surely, we're black people of color are becoming the majority. You know what I'm saying? Period. We really already have the most buying power, even though we don't have any fucking money. The money that we do spend, we spend with places like fucking Nike. You know what I mean? On a consistent basis. I'm talking about Nike. We buy everything for
There's
fucking
some
Nike.
cats that don't wear
You know what
nothing
I'm
but
saying?
Nike.
Right. Period.
I seen
You
it
know what I'm
today
saying?
at work. Nike hat, Nike shirt. He had the Nike pants
Jordan-
on.
right.
Then he
Jordan
had the
shit.
Nike Air Max in all the same color, like the
That's
same
how-
shade of red, not your normal red, not that dark blue. I was like, damn.
That's how we get down.
And
And that's how Nike's been.
and that's what I'm saying. Nike is smart enough to understand and realize, hey man, most of the people who are buying our things are probably between the ages of 16 and 25 African American. And at ages between 16 and 25 African American, they stand with Cap. And this man hasn't done anything wrong. He has been colluded against. Either you completely agree with Cap and you're for him, or you completely disagree.
And if you disagree with
If you disagree
Cap,
with it,
then you are
you're ignorant.
racist. And you
I
really
wouldn't even
don't
go
know
that
what's
far.
going on.
You're just ignorant and you
I
don't
don't
want to
think- I
enlighten
wouldn't say-
yourself.
That's racist, bro.
No,
Because
because I
you
know
what
some
Cap-
black people as well who aren't against Cap, but they're against taking the knee thing.
Well, then you are racist. You and some.
But I
I ain't gonna say.
thought
I can't say
people
you're
can't be
racist.
racist.
You can't be racist, but you have some type of prejudice there because there's no way that you can, if you know what Kaepernick is kneeling for, which is the death and murder of young black Americans,
social black
and you're saying, oh well, no, fuck what he's kneeling about. He shouldn't be doing it in the NFL. And I don't give a fuck where he does it at. He's doing it for a very, very good fucking reason. And if you don't agree with the reason that he's doing it for, which is what I just said about the young black men being murdered in America, then you have an issue. You're ignorant, and if you're white, you're racist. If you're black, then you're just fucking, like you say, ignorant. You're just fucking stupid.
I think both of them
You know
are
what I'm saying?
ignorant. They don't want to enlighten themselves. And
No, there are. But the fact of the matter is, they know. They are like.
What somebody
majority of
hit me
them
with,
know.
somebody hit me with, well, why can't he just do it off season? I was like, would you pay attention? If it
Right,
was the middle of June and football is over,
And they're like, Colin Kaepernick
is
is kneeling
just
at the Starbucks.
Yeah, Colin Kaepernick is taking a knee in front of the White House today for social injustice.